What's good in the hood, YouTube? This is Crazy Samurai 71 here, bringing you guys another video. Today I'm bringing you guys a video on Kishiryu Sentai Ryusoulger. Today we'll be discussing with you guys more information regarding the Three Knights combination for KishiRyuOh 3 Knights form. So for starters, I'm going to be showing off additional combinations. I showed off last video the basic 3 Knights form for Ryusoulger Red, Blue, and Pink, but I'm going to show off the additional forms. So for starters, I'm going to show off the Fortress form. I'm going to start off with TheKingNappy standard form. As you can see here, everything is in its basic form. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the spikes just so that they are out of the way. I'm going to shift these cannons so that they are one notch forward. So each one will, so both sets will move forward by one section. So instead of being on the tail, there'll be one in the center that'll be facing backwards, and there'll be one on the front section that will be facing forwards. So far so good. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to move and that just happened with the tail. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to move the legs. The legs need to be moved forward, but in order to do that, we're going to actually need to press the button at the bottom. So we're going to press this button. We're going to lift. We're going to put the leg all the way forward. Then what we're going to do is we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. So we're going to press the button and we're going to shift the leg all the way forward. So now both legs are forward like this, and it looks like he's about to do a big pounce or jump with his feet. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take Encloso and Trican. So we have both of them right now, and we're going to take, for starters, Trican. We're going to go from his tail. We're going to attach the spike onto his tail. We're going to go to Encloso. We're going to attach a spike onto Encloso's tail. So both of these should have spikes facing outwards. Then what we're going to do is really simple. We're going to have it where on this side, we're going to have it where the spike should actually be facing away. So I actually need to reverse it. And what we want to do is we want to attach it from the spike, from the back of the spike to the section that's closer to the feet, but like the side section. So you can see here that there's these dots again. You just attach it from there and rinse and repeat on the other side. The way you'll know that it's right is if the spikes are facing outward as they should be, and as you can see here it is. Pretty interesting look to it. Is it actually reversed? I think it's reversed. Yeah, it's reversed. So I'm going to quickly just have to reverse these, which fortunately doesn't require anything other than just swapping which way they come from. Otherwise, they are identical. So really simple. As you can see here, they should not be facing towards where TheKingNappy is. They should be actually facing away from him, the fronts. As you can see from Encloso, facing away. This one as well, as you can see here, the front is facing towards the tail. So you want them to be facing towards the tail. Pretty interesting design. It doesn't look the greatest from the front, obviously, but from the side it looks okay. From the back it actually looks pretty good, pretty accurate to what the images have shown online. So that is something to note. And it does look like a big like fortress, so that's kind of interesting. So that is that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to quickly remove these from both sides again. We're going to move the feet right back down so that it is in the standard form. Then what we're going to do is we're going to move the arms so that they're facing forward. So now he has arms on his arms. He has his little arms and he has his bigger arms. Then what we're going to do is we're going to move back the cannons back to where they were before. So the cannons move, one moves to the feet, one moves to the center. Simple stuff. I actually got confused when I first tried to do this part because I didn't realize that the arms had to be out, and that is a big difference. Main reason is for this combination, which is a combination that features all the mechas sections together, which is pretty interesting. What I'm going to do really quickly is on the sides here, same section that we put the spikes before. You actually do want to put the spikes, although this time you want them to be facing toward Tiramigo, like so. So you want to have the spike like that, and same on the other side. So I'm going to quickly attach those just so that I know that they're done with, because then I at least know that that's done with. Now, next part, really simple. We are going to quickly separate Encloso and Trican. And what we're going to do with these is have it where on one arm you want to have it where the tail goes facing towards the arm, like so. Although actually, I need to double check if that's even right. I think it is. Yeah. So you want to have it where it's facing towards the arm. Then what you want to do is, when you do this, you create 4 dots. So in this case, you take the head and you attach it where the 4 dots are. It's a little hard to show what I'm trying to point out exactly, so just bear with me a little bit if it doesn't look like you can see it. I may have to do it off camera, and I really don't like to show you guys things off camera or whatever, but it makes it easier for me. And just understand this now. It's easier to do it when I can see it well. If I can't see it well, it becomes that much harder. So you want to have it like this. You can see that there's spikes on spikes, basically. Kind of cool. Then what you want to do on the other side, I'm trying to see here how we do this. Okay, so for this one, same idea, basically. I see. We want to use the tail. We want to attach it to the side of this arm. We want to rotate it. Double checking right now. Yes, we want to have it where it's facing like this, so the hammer end is like that. Then we want to do the same exact idea as before. We attach it where the 4 pieces are. And then what we do really quickly is we want to actually extend these arms up so that they are above Tiramigo. This is a pretty cool form. It features all the pieces in one, which is very nice. I actually like that a lot. It's a simple form. So now moving on to another form. We're going to go back to KishiRyuOh. So I'm going to quickly remove everything. The only things I'm going to keep on are the basic body parts. So let me do that right now. And I'll be back with you in 1 second because I'm trying to do this and it's not working super easily. Okay, so we have all that going. I'm going to attach the backpack on really quickly. Attach the arms on really quickly. And now things are looking the way that they should look. So things are good. We're back to standard form. I'm going to use Ryusoulger Red's head. Okay, we're back to normal. But now we're going to do some interesting stuff. So for starters, we're going to do a arm combination similar to the one that we did with Tiramigo before with the arms on the side. This case, the way it's going to work is It's going to be pretty cool, actually. We want to start off with taking off one of these arms. So I'm going to actually take off, I'm trying to double check this now, which arm it is. I believe it's this arm. Yeah. So we're going to take off this arm. So we have this arm now, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to start off by having it where we're going to attach onto it the hammer section from Encloso onto the side, right? So we have the hammer section attached. Next, what we want to do is make sure as well that it's facing like this. We don't want this to be showing. We want it to be all lined up with the pegs. Then what we want to do, double check this right now, is again, it creates these on both sides. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually have those sections feature the cannons. So both cannons go there. There's the other cannon. Okay, so both cannons go here like this, as you can see. Then what we're going to do, this doesn't look right. It's going to be, oh, no, it looks right. Okay. Then what we're going to do is we're going to add the spikes onto the ends of the hammer. So both ends of the hammer will feature a spike. Pretty simple. I think that's right. No, I'm wrong. Sorry, not the spikes. That makes sense. No, what we're going to actually feature, I was doing this wrong actually. What we're going to do now is we're going to have it where, so we have it where the hammer part is like this. So from the fist, so God, it bothers me. The fist is from here. This is like this. What we want to do is we want to take the front end of sorry, the one that's we want to take one of them, and we want to take the front end, and we want to attach it to the bottom section for this. So the arm should look like this so far. Then we're going to take the front end of Encloso, and we're going to attach it to the other side of the hammer. So the hammer, so this is what the arm looks like so far. Pretty crazy, actually. So much. Then what we're going to do is we're going to attach the arm right back on. So this is how it looks like with the arm all attached. I'm going to actually move the arm forward a little bit so you can see it a little better. It looks pretty cool. And again, you can rotate this, you can do all sorts of stuff with it, so it's very cool. On the other side is gonna have the should be, is it another cannon or what is it supposed to be here? There's another combination that was missing. That's what it was. There's supposed to be more to this. It's a little confusing, but basically it's supposed to look like this, and then it's supposed to also have additional sections that go, oh, I see. It's a lot. Just keep this in mind. That's why it's like I'm honestly having a hard time keeping up with it all, because I'm just sort of like trying to see what they're doing here. That's what it is. I want to actually take off one of these, I guess. It's really bizarre. We take off one of these, we put a spike on it, and then on the other side we put a cannon on it, and like we do this kind of thing, and then I don't really know what we do with the rest of it. It's really interesting. Actually, this cannon goes like where it's facing forward, not outwards, so it's like this. And we don't use a spike, I guess. That's interesting. Oh, and also what I forgot to include was this goes on there. It doesn't say anything about this spike anywhere, so this is this formation. There's another formation which is really, really simple. I'm just trying to figure this out really quickly. So essentially, yeah, okay. So now we're going to move on to this combination. This combination is one that focuses more on the legs this time, which is interesting because for once we actually have a use for the legs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly just remove everything off of this arm, because this arm basically needs to have everything removed. Oh man. And what I'm going to do really quickly is reform Encloso, which should take nothing. I mean, it's really simple to reform Encloso. So reform Encloso. So Encloso is back to normal. We're going to reform Triken. And then what we're going to do is we're going to attach onto the feet from the tail ends. Actually, no, is it from the tail ends? Yeah, from the tail ends. We're going to attach onto the feet, because as you can see down here, there are pegs. We're going to attach on from actually the head end, sorry. The head ends we're going to attach on. I'm going to quickly just attach the arms on as well, just so that I know that they're on, because they're not right now. We're going to attach on these feet. So these become like skates essentially. And we're just going to put them on the feet, which is cool. So they become like this so far. So it gives some extra height. Then it gets kind of interesting, because what we have here is we want to have cannons on the sides of his feet. So whoops. So as you can see here, there's a cannon that's this way already. We want to put a cannon on the other side. So we have two cannons like this. Then on the front, put spikes. Spikes should be facing outwards, not downwards, not left, not right, outwards. Like so. Pretty simple, pretty easy form. Lastly, we have one more form. This last form is interesting. It's the main things we have to do are remove the spikes and take the legs and take Triken and Anklozo off. Then what we're going to do is we're going to separate Triken, separate Anklozo. For Triken, what we're going to do is we're going to put on this cannon just the front section of we're going to put this section onto the cannon. So now it's like cannons with a sword, kind of cool. Then what we're going to do is we're going to mimic this idea with the tail this time. The tail needs to be facing so that the hammer piece is like this now. So it's going to be in line with the pegs. And we're going to do it on the opposite side. So it basically mimics the appearance of that one, only it's a hammer versus a sword. So I'll show it to you now what I'm talking about. And actually like this, so you can, yeah. Then what we're gonna do is attach onto the front parts here the tail of Triken and the head of Anklozo. Then what we're going to do is we're going to attach onto the tail of Triken a spike and onto the head of Anklozo a spike. Yeah. So these are all the combinations that basically exist for this mecha. Again, it's a lot. There's a lot more that you can do that aren't official combinations. People have done some really crazy things already I've seen online. But yeah, so this is actually pretty cool. If you are someone that's interested in getting this, I got this mecha again at Hobby Link Japan. It is a Japanese market. It is a Japanese store, so keep that in mind that it is not something that's based in America. You have to buy. You'd have to export it. There are American operations as well, which will probably cost you more for the initial cost of the mecha, but will probably charge less for shipping. So it's a toss-up really, because if you go from the Japanese market, it'll be cheaper, but it'll be more for the shipping cost, as opposed to if you do it from America, it will cost less on the shipping end, but more on the actual item itself, because they already had to ship it to their store and they want to charge their own prices for it. So it's a toss-up. I decided this time to do it from the Japanese market and then ship it for a more expensive rate. I've typically done it in the past where it's been an American Japanese store selling it for a greater price but less shipping costs. So it really depends. Typically, the other difference is that with this site, it give you a lot of flexibility in what options you can have for shipping. So you can have it where it comes really quickly, or it takes a very long time. Essentially, the main differences are cost and timing, and just they give you a lot of options. Certain ones work better than others, but I went with the express shipping, which allowed me to get it fairly quickly. Typically, if you go to some of the other stores like Image Anime or a Big Bad Toy Store, it will take a lot longer. I've ordered from them before, both stores. They do take longer usually, so just keep it in mind as well. I was actually pretty lucky with mine. But yeah, so please remember to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you guys think of these mechas. Have you purchased this? Are you planning on buying this? Are you interested in buying this kind of stuff? Have you bought anything from Super Sentai? Not from Power Rangers, but from Super Sentai. Are you interested in collecting Super Sentai or Power Rangers? Or do you collect both, or do you collect one? Tell me in the comments below. I'd love to know. Otherwise, that's about it for me, guys. So please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. So until then, guys, I'm Crazy Samurai 71, and goodbye, guys.